Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of The Darker Side of Spirituality. Okay, so in this episode, if you want to call it that, I'm going to be dealing with competition within the spiritual community. Now, it is rife, especially at the moment. Now, from what I kind of gather and take and my perception of it, kind of started off when the work went a little bit flat and people started scrabbling around looking for new ideas. And since things have picked up again and the ascension process, if you don't know what that means, go to my YouTube channel, Spirituality 101 playlist. There's lots of terms and stuff like that I explain. Since the ascension process has kind of ramped up a gear and people are starting to come to us a bit more, a lot of people are starting to see the dollar signs and they're wanting to find other avenues to explore. So I'm going to split this into kind of three sections. It might be 3 videos. It depends how long I jabber on for. So I'm going to start with readers. So that's psychics, mediums, and like tarot readers and stuff like that. Obviously I'm one, so I'll start with that one. I'm then going to do retail, okay, and then I'm going to go on to events, okay. So let's start with the readers. So I'm only going to be talking about my own personal experience here, okay? You know, feel free to comment if you have a slightly different experience. So, as a reader, I face competition, and I do, okay? There's no way of getting around it. Now, I tend to find it comes in 2 ways. The first way is that because I've been doing events for coming up to 2 years, okay? But I'm still seen as one of the fairly newer ones, okay? But my face is starting to get out there. Now, it's getting out there because of fucking hard work, okay? Yeah, so one aspect is people don't like it when somebody new comes along and they've got a bit of a different take, they're freshening up the scene, and they see you as a threat. They see it as potentially you're going to be taking their clients off them. Now, I've said this before, the irony of it is, these people that see me as a threat, I don't work like them, okay? I don't do floaty, Nan says this readings, okay? I deal with people going through awakenings and breaking toxic karmic relationships and stuff like that. I do normal readings as well, don't get me wrong, but people are drawn to me because of that, okay? So the funny thing is, I'm not taking their clients away from them, okay? The second thing is that if I have been offered a place on an event, it's because either A, I've got in there early and I've paid, because I like to pay up as soon as I can, or B, because of the hard work I've put in, my face is getting recognised. Okay, and again, because I do something different, I bring a different clientele. Okay, so yeah, I've been last minute removed off events because, in my opinion, those who are a little bit more established have felt threatened, and so they don't want me there. I've been psychically attacked a number of times, which isn't very nice, and just gossip and all that bullshit. The second form of competition you get as a reader tends to be people trying to copy your style, okay, or copy what you're doing. Now, you can't replicate somebody's style, and you really can't, okay? If you're a good reader, that comes from within, okay? And for me, it comes from a place of life experience and trauma, okay? You can't replicate that, okay? You can try and talk about the things that I'm talking about, but it just comes across as vapid and wet because there's no substance behind it, okay? What I always say is that, if you're a love reader, be a love reader, okay? If you are connected with angels, do your work connected with angels, okay? Whatever you feel connected with, do it, okay? And if you're into the kind of more softer branding, that is perfectly fine. Nobody's saying there's anything wrong with that, okay? But don't all of a sudden go, right, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that because, he does it and he seems to be quite popular at it, or they do it and they're quite, they're getting a good following. It doesn't work, okay? It might work for a short period, but people can smell bullshit a mile off, and they really can. You might get the odd idiot who kind of goes along with it and falls for it. It won't work, okay? It's false, it's fake, and you're doing it just to boost your popularity or get a bit more money, okay? So there is a lot of competition. Okay, I have the added bonus of, because I do videos like this and I call out the BS, that kind of generates a bit more heat. So if you are kind of new and you're thinking, oh, I'm kind of going professional or getting on the event scene, don't let it put you off. Okay, stand your ground. Okay, you know, you will get people coming in like creeping Jesuses and, oh, hey hun, how are you? What are you doing? Can you tell me more about this? Now, the old version of me would have been all like, oh yeah, sure, let me help you out, blah, blah, blah. I don't anymore, and I don't, because there's too many people trying to rob your ideas, too many people trying to rob what you're doing and passing it off as their own. And I'll kind of touch on this in the kind of more retail segment as well. Yeah, stand your ground. The most important thing is just to be yourself. Okay, as we always say in this world, you know, people are drawn to the reader. Okay, and when we say that, it's because it's the energy that you're emitting, really. And you know, like I say, I get people coming up to me that, you know, physically at an event, or they'll message me and they'll just say, look, I don't want a tarot reading, I don't want to talk to dead people, I just feel like I need to talk to you. And it's not because they're going through an awakening. And like I say, that's what I deal with. Okay, outside of that, because I don't really, other than my tarot tutorial, I don't really do development. I was planning on doing a kind of one-to-one kind of psychic development with somebody, but unfortunately my mediumship's changed, so I've been waiting for that to settle. So if you are one of those people who did contact me, I am sorry. You know, like I say, I'm just waiting for things to settle down and then kind of seeing where it goes from there. But yeah, yeah, if at that point I don't know, I'll feed them off to somebody else. You know what I mean? Who can help them actually develop. So yeah, there is a lot of competition on the reader front at the moment, I'm afraid, and it can be bitchy, and people do give it all that. Okay, so that's part one. I'm gonna have to do this in 3 parts, unfortunately. You know what I'm like, I like to talk too much. So yeah, that's part one. I'm gonna now move on to the kind of more retail element of things. It could I suppose kind of fall within the kind of healer category as well. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, if you're enjoying this, please go to part 2, which is retail.